If you understand eternity, and then you have faith in the infinite source of eternity, you don't have to understand crazy people. You just have to understand how important it is to believe in eternity and have faith in the infinite source of eternity. When you do that, you understand natural laws, and understanding natural laws, your faith has to be based on reality. It can't be based on things that are not real. Like I told you when I was a kid, the reason why I had, as far as religions went, they had to be based on reality. They had to have things that were scientifically valid for me to believe in it. If science negated your religion, then your religion was wrong, right? It wasn't sustainable. It wasn't rational. It wasn't faithful. You can't have faith in something you make up. Okay. And you can't believe in people that make up stuff to get you to believe in them and then have faith in stuff they make up, right? And so it's very important that your faith be based on reality, that you understand eternity, that you have faith in the infinite source or essence as you would perceive it, however you want to say it. But, I really don't care how people say things as long as it's, like that for me, like the law said, as long as it's, you can ascertain it, you understand it. Okay. Tomato, tomato, potato, potato, do you understand what I mean? Okay. Well, then that's what's important. What's important is understanding. And it's not important is, you're saying it wrong. It's like, well, how am I saying it wrong? Well, because you get a bunch of people together that agree this is how it's said. Did you understand what I said? Can we, the purpose of saying it, can it be attained? Well, then who gives a fuck if I said ain't or I'm not or what the fuck, right? Do you understand? Arrogance and pretentiousness, there's no place for that in empathy and compassion and mercy. Okay. Arrogance and pretentiousness is just, it just breeds contempt and anger and frustration. Okay. Give us free, right? Do you understand? Fuck. Fighting for what you want. Okay. And you win. Okay. Are you sure about that? If you fight for what you want, okay, when true tribes go to war, you cannot win. Okay. There's no such thing as winning. Okay. When you're fighting over what you want and you destroy the crops, you're fighting over what you want. And they do that all the time. I noticed that when I was in Sierra Vista and I went to go pick up Amy at her job at Candlewood Suites. Okay. They had these shows on. I was sitting and watch on the history, the history type channels and stuff. They had the one about the werewolf, and it was a guy in France, and he was poor and ostracized and had mold infestation and went nuts. And the hair grew on his body a lot because he was treated like an animal, and his body reacted thusly. It was real horrible just watching the thing. I was like, God, it was terrible. And then that's where the story of the werewolf came from. And then they had another one about, they had a lot of them about full moons. This gets more active when there's a full moon. Sure, because it's brighter. And so there's more, when nocturnal animals that eat at night go out, the predators that go after them have better sight. And so it's when you have a full moon out, it's more conducive for predators. If you're out there eating, you can see better, but you can also, just like during the daytime, the people, the creatures that are hunting you can see better. Okay. So there's more activity and it's more like that. And that's just what it is. It's just like in Alaska when you have a continual day during the summertime. Okay. And last night, so you got to be on your P's and Q's because, the predators can see you better. When it's dark, it's harder for them to hunt you. Okay. So there's just certain things that go on. So they would explain stuff, and I just go, okay, that's just that. And so I was sitting, I watched the stuff, and they were talking about the people that we're still dealing with that are in positions of, fight to win, and their tribalism is about, it's faithlessness, it's selfishness, okay? Now, tribalism, I had a man ask me questions about tribalism when he watched Avatar. And he was a white man that married a Mexican woman. And he wondered, he goes, why are they so tribal? What's the deal with that? Tribalism is usually a condition of selfishness through finite delusions of self. Okay? So if you see yourself as you, that's why they try to eliminate people like me. You know, my grandma was a Kramer and they were killing the Jews during the Holocaust and trust. And they were trying to, the people that win were trying to get rid of people like myself because we're game enders. There's no more tribalism. Now, Tony can marry Maria because, you know, he's the best guy. If I was my daughter, I would choose Othello too. Do you see what I'm saying? And so I come from those sort. And so it's not so much of a tribe because once you submit to faith in the glory of God, you understand eternity and you have faith in the infinite source of eternity and you understand natural laws and obey natural laws, then you marry who's most suitable for you. That's what used to always get me so upset with all the black women at the bowling alley with my brother-in-law, Punchy, and my sister, Patrice. What are you doing with that gray girl? He's like, she's a better mom than you. She's a better person than you. Have you sat and talked to her? Okay. Okay. You're a stupid, mean bitch. Okay. My sister's tough, but she's not a stupid, mean bitch. And Punchy's mom is a very good woman. And his sister was one of the best women you ever met. Okay. And it was nice when Michelle moved in because my sister had a friend, okay, in that tribe that was Punchy's sister, you know, and then I knew, you know, you could tell that there was a lot of good. Okay. And with Larry and his mom, they didn't stay together because of cultural abuse through economics and tribal warfare, but they tried to keep an amicable relationship and take care of the kids as best as they could, even with their frailties and their human flaws that are exacerbated, not enhanced, exacerbated when we divide into tribalism over finite delusions of grandeur, of fighting and winning and our team's better than your team. And you'll find that people that have bad brain activity through biological and psychological conditioning, through trying to eliminate their competition, okay, they're more easily addictive to certain kind of dopamine reactions like sports and stuff. I realized, you know, because I was talking about stuff last night about the sports and being a good fan and all that stuff. Football, you know, I was there the night with the Kenkel interception with Javon and Terrell, you know, and Nick Ginty to Josh Bowen, and there was like 400 of us left in the stadium. It was on a Halloween night, and there was like 400 of us less in the stadium. It started out with about 15,000 fans because they were going to have a Halloween thing, and they were going to get on TV at halftime. And then at halftime, they all left. And it was one of the best. It was a really good game. It was between Idaho, and it was going back and forth. It was in the 40s. It went to double overtime, right? And the Aggies came back and won it. And it had to do it on third-string quarterback Nick Ginty and to walk on Josh Bowen from Monsanto High School in Albuquerque, right? And his mom comes running. She can run. It's like, oh, you know where he gets athleticism from, right? It was cute. She came in, it was my boy. We know. It was cool, wasn't it? Yeah. It was funny. But it was a good game. It was one of the best Aggie football games ever because they broke one of the longest losing streaks in the history of college football. And the other thing about it was a bunch of underachievers that weren't cocky and arrogant and thought they were all that, and they were really nice guys. It was a football team full of really nice guys that had gotten their ass kicked numerous times because they were at a school that didn't have a traditional program of a bunch of cocky, arrogant assholes, and they weren't expected to win. And they were Trey Wilcoxon is his dad. You've never met a bunch of nicer kids, okay? And the guys that went there that had a toot, Chante and, you know, some of the other, they still, in Benjamin, they're nice kids, okay? And you want to root for them, okay? And the more success a coach has and the more they bring in these cockier kids and stuff like that, the less you want to root for them. They're not as nice of people. Like what happened with the thing with the next kid after Chris Jans and the Chris Jans kids that he inherited, that Mike Peace, Chris Jans, recruited him. And Johnny McCants said that. He said a lot of the guys he recruits are, you know. I did not find that to be true with the big kid from Philadelphia. I really like him. But, and so and a lot of times you'll see that the good kids will show up with the bad kids at sports. Okay. You get the cocky assholes. It's like Tupac said about gangs and the police and, some kids, it's like, it's a family affair by Sly, Sly and the Family Stone. But you guys got to understand that, you don't judge people by their tribalism, their affiliations and stuff. You judge them by what they do. We're judged by our deed. We are what we do. Okay. And heaven is a place on earth where people accept the gift of eternity with gratitude through the infinite source and essence of life. And that's something that's not happening right now. We're still stuck in hell because of selfish people. Okay. And selfish people do it willfully, and they do it with, it's not gleefully. They're constantly miserable. They're constantly fighting. If I had money, okay, and someone got a message to me to go to Jennifer Lopez's world to go see how she's doing, I would drive right down there. No bodyguards, no train killers to keep me safe because of my money, right? And take my money out. And I say, what do you need? You good? Okay. Well, you ready to come public and say, let's support the Lord's Prayer and the Living Word, early birdly? Or, I would be easy. I would just walk right out. I wouldn't be scared. Afraid at all. So you guys are terrified. Donald Trump's terrified. All the political Peckerwoods and on the Pussy Plantation are terrified. You see, I'm right in the epicenter of the people that give us this clusterfuck of genocidal insanity. Okay. I don't have bodyguards in this. You're in a safe zone. Safe? You seen what they did to me? You see what they do to my family? They had people that impulse to get a paycheck spray Roundup on my dog's grave. Okay, I'm in a safe zone? Are you serious? Okay. This is a safe zone to you, right? I'm right in the epicenter of all the brain chemical addicted, abusive, scientific murderers. Okay. And I don't go, I sleep with the windows open. Party with the lights on. I'm not like, oh, somebody gonna kill me. It's like they're torturing me and trying to torture me to death and get you guys to do nothing to help stop it. And then I sit there and go, see why I'm like Jesus and you're not? Neener. Now we got technology to collect all the evidence. Neener. And life's eternal. Okay, so we'll get through this. All right, let's load this up. Make it quick. I got chores to do today.